Happy New Year, everybody! We are going back to the future. Hey, everybody! It's your old friend Chris Bogue, doing the last live show of the year. So, 2025 has been a crazy year. It has moved super fast. I know for me personally, 2025 was a lot of my favorite influencers. Okay, I'm having some issues with the stream here, and that's okay. You know, one of the things we're going to have to discuss is, the various issues that live streamers had this year. So, right now, my screen is frozen. Okay, so, hey everybody. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, I'm sorry, but it looks like we just lost the feed. That's kind of how 2024 goes. So I'm your host, Chris Bogue. Today we're going to talk about 2024, what worked and what stopped working. If you got comments, go ahead and leave the comments here, especially if you're on YouTube. We will answer them throughout the show. Admittedly, this is going to be a little difficult without the LinkedIn functionality, but hey, that's the story of the year. So, I want to just make a disclaimer up front that this is all very personal to me. So just because something worked or didn't work for me, maybe for you it'll be totally different. It's kind of how these things go. So I make no bones about it. My name is Chris Bogue. I run my own business. I am 100% reliant on my own labor and my own digital products. So I do a lot of video-based content. I do a lot of workshops. I do a lot of coaching. So this is all going to be around how I sell that, what's worked for me in terms of getting in front of audiences and converting those audiences into paid customers. Again, other people have different businesses. This is no guarantee. Everything kind of works, except when it doesn't. So I'm going to share what worked for me. If you want to share what worked for you this year, go ahead, drop it into the comments. I am going to be trying to answer all the comments that I can throughout this episode. And let's just get started. Actually, one thing I want to mention too is because I coach video content creation, today's episode kind of has a dual purpose. So you will see that there is a vertical video feed on camera. I'm in vertical video mode, and that's because 2024 really saw a rise in vertical video on LinkedIn. LinkedIn launched a new vertical video feed. They have been pushing users to this vertical video feed. So whenever I make long form content, I also like to record it in vertical. So I can take that footage and reuse it for other clips throughout the year. So today we're having some issue broadcasting to LinkedIn. That's fine. That's why we take HD video and we clip it up and we post it to LinkedIn later. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's talk about some of the trends that we saw this year. And I want to start with B2B influencers because I can't really tell if this worked or not. So there are a lot of people who I perceive as influencers on LinkedIn. I see their content all the time. Whenever they partner with a new company, it pops up. I recognize their content. This is the year where I saw a lot of people who got paid to be B2B influencers being very jaded about it. So, for example, Scott Leese, top sales voice, friend of the show, Scott Leese, made a post a few weeks ago about how he was going to stop doing B2B influencer deals altogether. This is pretty eye-opening because Scott gets paid $2,500 just to write a single post. supporting a startup. So these tech companies would pay him. He would say, hey, up until now, there was no way to use AI to do blah, blah, blah. And then now we have this, so go check out their website. So he was doing those deals. He was making good money off of it. And he decided he doesn't want to do it anymore. I don't really know what to think about that. I saw a post from Obed Durrani, friend of the show. He works for Clay now. He's also got Jen Ellen Knuth, other friend of the show, doing content for Clay. And I saw Obed make a post about how if you recognize a company's content but you don't know what the company does, that's bad. So I hope he's not watching the show right now, because I still don't really understand what Clay does. I just know that my friends are influencers there. And the same reasons why people hate B2B influencers is why B2B influencers work. So I think people get a little bit resentful when they see people on their newsfeed endorsing products that they probably don't even use, but it works. I made a lot of my revenue from this past year doing influencer deals. Why? Because I have an audience. People come and watch my content, and the people who do that tend to be in the right industries if you are selling tech software or marketing software or sales software, because I do a lot of sales content and I do a lot of marketing content on LinkedIn. So for me, it was great. I had a lot of fun with it. I am curious to hear from the viewers at home if you've had any experience there. Ooh, I see Moscow Cowboy 13. He is watching this live. But, you know, I haven't, I can't tell if you're seeing that on screen. But yeah, Moscow Cowboy, welcome to the show. Welcome to YouTube. We're talking about B2B influencers. And once again, you know, I've run into this problem where I think there are a lot of talented content creators on LinkedIn who don't realize that they're influencers, or who don't realize that they're doing influencer things. But they are influencers. They are out there generating revenue, generating interest off their personalities, not necessarily because of their product expertise or their sales acumen. And that's not to say that they don't have great sales acumen. It's more to say that LinkedIn is leaning into TikTok style videos, and you have to realize that when you are encouraging people to be video content creators, you are encouraging a class of creator who is profiting off of their personality. And B2B is no different than other companies in that people are going to work with the personalities that they recognize, that they like, that they want to see more of. So I'm going to say B2B influencers continue to work. You know, feel free to disagree with me in the comments there, but I think you're going to continue seeing big B2B influencers and small B2B influencers driving conversations on LinkedIn, while you see a lot of organic reach and cold emails and stuff like that continue to decline in efficacy. So before you say anything about Chris, cold email isn't declining in efficacy. Let's go ahead and talk about another trend in 2024, AI everything. So if you are a person who spends any time at all doing sales or marketing on LinkedIn, probably most of the content you saw this year was about AI. How about how AI is the future? Everything is going to be great. If you're not automating every single human interaction you have, you are being left behind. And I actually think AI, although it has been improving, like, you know, in terms of like the product that Google is putting out there, the product that OpenAI is putting out there, the AI has gotten better. I think AI as a marketing selling point has actually decreased. I think, like, I'm thinking about this Coca-Cola ad I watched over the holidays. It was clearly AI generated, and it was the ugliest looking thing I've seen. It was awful. It was tacky. It looked like the Coca-Cola company bought the cheapest freelancer on Fiverr to do work for them. And I think 2025, we're going to continue to see a drift between the wants of board members who want everything to be automated. They want to fire all their employees. They want to go push the magic AI button and have content out there 24/7 that's converting new customers without putting any work whatsoever into it. And there will continue to be demand for that. But on the recipient end, if you are the one consuming this AI content, it looks cheap. Like, making all your brand materials just AI generated content, like that doesn't make you look like a cutting edge company. It makes you look like you use the lowest common denominator marketing materials. It looks like something that a high school kid who doesn't know how to do anything would produce. So yeah, I think there is this this trend that has actually stopped working as well. I think especially in 2023, maybe even late 2022, you put the tag powered by AI on anything and people would buy it. Fast forward a year later, I think buyers have rightly become skeptical of claims about AI built into products. And I think you're going to see that continue in 2025. No one's going to let up on the AI because big companies love it. Small companies love it. There's all sorts of things you can do with AI to improve your processes, but it feels shitty. It doesn't feel good from a consumer standpoint to watch a bunch of AI generated nonsense that required zero work at all. There was no thought put into it, no effort put into it. It's just the easiest, fastest, cheapest thing that a company could put out. So yes, continue building AI into everything. I'm not saying that the trend of AI is stopping, but in terms of a marketing selling point, stop telling people that you're using the power of AI, because who the hell isn't? So moving right along, let's talk about cold email. So this is a topic that I am not super... Like, I've never been a big cold emailer. Cold email has never been my ticket to success. So, commenters, viewers, anybody who wants to jump in and correct me here, maybe cold email had a great year. I have seen a trend where all the people that were talking about email warm-ups and multiple email inboxes, which was a really hot topic in 2022, I don't see a lot of those people talking about inbox warm-up anymore and inbox rotation. For a while, there was some conventional wisdom that the best way to succeed at email was to make 100 random inboxes and rotate them and just spam everybody using automated AI messages. And it seems like everybody's gotten a little bit more sophisticated about that. So again, I think we're seeing kind of like a reversion where 2023 was all about AI everything. We're going to scale all your emails using the power of AI. It seems like for 2024, the email gurus have really advised to going back, use AI for the targeting, use AI for the list building, use AI to find triggers about who is the best kind of buyer to sell to, who is ready to be sold to right now. But when it actually comes to writing the email, write it yourself. And a little bit of personality is going to go farther along than just a bunch of AI generated nonsense that we've all been trained to ignore. So those are my 2024 thoughts on cold email. Feel free to disagree if you want. But otherwise, we're going to go into our next trend. So this next trend I love because it's totally self-serving. So vertical video is having a moment on LinkedIn, and I am stoked about it because this is what I saw happening years ago. I created my business in 2021 in part because I saw that the whole world was getting more into video, and I knew LinkedIn was going there, and sales and all these B2B companies were going to have to get better at video, and it looks like we've reached that point. So vertical video, really hot. In a time where organic reach is down, vertical video is still getting boosted by LinkedIn. So what a great time to be a video coach for business. So speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you one of my top performing videos from this year, how to create an experience with Laura Erdem. And we'll talk a little bit about what about this video worked and what kind of roadmap it's giving me for the content that I'm going to be making in the coming year.
Laura Erdem, why are we running at 6 in the morning?
Hi, Chris. I thought it would be nice to do some professional networking together. That is not just drinking at some bar.
Yeah. Something wrong with that?
It never hurts to try something different, I guess.
Oh, 100%.
Chris? Chris?
Brothers
Oh my
and
God.
sisters, let us not cry tears of sadness for Chris, but rather tears of joy, for we all got a ton of engagement out of this. How to create an unforgettable experience with Laura Erdem and Chris Bogue, this Thursday at 12 p.m. Central, sponsored by TLDV and Pitchfire. Okay, so we're going to jump into that. I'm actually going to go here and update the event. I don't think I can update the event, which is unfortunate. Well, for anybody who does want to join us on YouTube, we are live on YouTube. We're having an unfortunate moment right now where I'm seeing people who are commenting on LinkedIn, asking where the stream is. But this is the nice thing about vertical video. You know, you don't have to worry about streams breaking. Like, take it from me, as a live streamer, as a guy who's been making a decent share of his income off live streams and live programs and LinkedIn Live, it really sucks when a stream breaks, just like it did today. So vertical video, it allows for longevity. LinkedIn has been boosting it after 24 hours after the fact. And we're going to talk a little bit more about comedic content too. So let's go ahead and take a look at another promo I made with Tom Boston.
Boston! I specifically said no puns on this week's show. I asked you for a headshot and you submit this? That's a pun, Boston. I don't care if 87% of my audience says that puns are funny. That just means that 87% of my audience is wrong. There are absolutely no puns on this week's show. Do you understand me?
Oh, no, I don't. I don't think I continue. I feel funny. I feel funny.
You better hope to God you have food poisoning, Tom Boston.
Sorry, I've got a really bad gag reflex.
I've had it up to here with your dad jokes, Boston.
Would you say you're at your wit's end?
There's a million different types of comedy out there. So how do you find the one that's right for your audience? Join Tom Boston and I for a conversation about how to find your kind of funny this Friday at 12 p.m. Central. Brought to you by Pitchfire and TLDV.
All right, so if you'll notice a theme here, it's that comedy plays a big role here. And also, this will give me a moment here to talk a little bit about creative collaborations. So this is a thing I've been beating the drum on for years, and this is something that I think has just become more and more obvious as time goes on with LinkedIn. But nobody succeeds alone. Nobody succeeds alone, especially in the world of content. When you see somebody just blow up overnight, that's because a bigger account had something to do with it. The bigger creators play a role in promoting the smaller creators. So if you're out there building a brand on LinkedIn and you're thinking to yourself, hey, how am I going to get a bigger audience? How am I going to get in front of more people? Instead of just going for the topics that everybody is talking about, challenge yourself to do collaborations with creators in your space who have trust. And if you want to look at for how I did that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to watch a different promo teaser. This one is for the show that I launched this year, Death by PowerPoint.
My name is Todd Klauser, and I'm about to give a PowerPoint presentation I've never seen before.
My name is Leslie Douglas, and I'm about to give a PowerPoint presentation I have never seen before.
Today, we're going to talk about how to actually increase your churn rate.
You're going to see a lot of ridiculous stuff.
So next up on our slides, what we're going to get into.
They have to pretend this is all going according to plan.
I remember my Meemaw, God bless her.
Never listen to anything a prospect says, because we all know that prospects are liars.
When in doubt, just remember to Gary, give a real yawn
You shut him down. Goodbye, nipples. Have a great day.
If you are watching this live, you are part of the show today.
My heart is beating so fast. I am an over-preparer, and I have nothing to prepare.
All right, so things to notice there. So this was a show I launched in February. We did 15 episodes, which is about 45 different guests. We had sponsors. We had promos. We had a list of people who were trying to get in on the show. And this was an interesting turn for me because I have always been torn here on LinkedIn between giving knowledge to the audience and giving them entertainment. I can sit there and tell the audience what they need, but they tend to ignore me. Whereas if I show them something cool that they can do on video, then I get an audience, then I get copycats, then I get attention, and I get hype. So for me, success is largely built on making sure that not only am I talking about the things that are important to my audience, but I'm talking to the people that are driving conversations on LinkedIn. So go ahead, plan some creative collaborations for 2025. It's nothing like getting involved with real people to actually drive some excitement. And let's keep right along with other 2024 trends. So fake announcements had a great year. So this is one that I'm hoping LinkedIn does something about because they're really annoying. But a trend that we've discovered, or at least a lot of creators on LinkedIn have discovered, is that if you make every single thing you do a new announcement as though you're starting a new position, you'll do better with the algorithm. So now if you're a freelancer, every single client you take on, you treat that as though it's a new role that you just created. And then you get this bounce from LinkedIn. It'll say, Chris Bogue started a new role. But really, it's just another freelance gig. So this is one of those reasons why when you watch creators who are like flexing about the huge engagement that they get and they show you that graph of like, look, I got 1 million impressions. A lot of times they're gaming the algorithm, and this is like a really common way to do it. So make a lot of fake announcements. LinkedIn does not know how to punish that yet. I do not recommend this, but I see creators do it all the time. So it's got to be working for somebody, right? So fake announcements. Another trend that I think we are only going to see pick up in 2024 is sobriety. So there has been a sea change that I've noticed over the past couple years, and I don't think it's going away anytime soon. But long gone are the days where free booze all the time at work is considered an acceptable perk. So I've worked in WeWork buildings where there's free beer on tap all the time. It is great if you love to drink. But there has been a cultural shift. I've seen a lot of people who are my age either cutting back on alcohol or going sober entirely. And the kids today, Generation Z, Generation Alpha, the kids who are coming up today into the workforce, are drinking and doing drugs at lower rates than any of the generations before them in recent history. So maybe we just hit a tipping point where we did so much drinking as a country that there was nothing left to do but turn the tide in the wrong direction. But I predict you're going to see more of this. You're going to see more companies figuring out offsites and networking opportunities and networking dinners that used to be all about the free bar that are now going alcohol free. So for me, this is not a big problem. I got alcohol out of my life this year. I thought it was going to be hard, and it was hard, but it was worthwhile. I try not to make it my entire personality. But I am set for a 2025 where public drinking is a little bit more taboo, and I'm here for it if B2B companies want to go plan some more things that don't involve alcohol. Like, for example, I had some fun doing pickleball networking events this year. Am I good at pickleball? No, I suck at it. But it's a place I can go meet and network with other like-minded people and potential clients, and it doesn't involve drinking. So my bet, you're going to see much more non-drinking activities in 2025. And that's not necessarily a terrible thing, right? Go easy on your liver. You only get one. So that said, let's talk about memes. Now, memes are another thing where I see certain creators, they flex all the time on their memes. I should do more memes because I see that they are very popular. The snob in me also feels like a lot of the memes that go viral are stolen, or it's very much a currency of the internet where if you just copy somebody who put something that's blown up right now, you'll get a ton of likes on it, and that doesn't necessarily reflect anything about you as a creator or a writer, and that doesn't necessarily mean that the people who are clicking the like button are the right audience for you. But I can't help but see that memes continue to be the currency of the internet. They are the inside jokes of the internet. I should be doing more memes in the new year. People love them. People share them. They get seen. And I've already got Photoshop. So that's the hard part. It doesn't take that long to Photoshop something. So yeah, memes. I think they'll be just as popular in 2025 as they were in 2024. Now, I can't say the same thing about carousels. So this is another one where, you know, if anybody has proof about this or opinions about this or data about this and wants to prove me wrong on carousels, jump in and tell me about how carousels are working for you. This is another one where I feel like they really had a moment in 2023, and I saw fewer of them over the past year. So they're not easy to make. They are easy for people to generate with AI. And I think in general, you know, anything you can do with AI is going to get spammed and people are going to get sick of it. But hey, you know, that's just my opinion. Maybe carousels are going to have a different year in 2025. LinkedIn writing. This is an interesting one because this is a trend I have seen on the decline for years. So I used to take Justin Welsh's advice. It's not bad to take Justin Welsh's advice, but you have to keep paying attention to him over the years because you will notice that things that he told you to do in his course are no longer principles that he follows. So when I first took Justin Welsh's course, it was in 2022. The operating system is what it's called, if anybody's interested. He was all in on writing. He was one of these guys who had lots of passionate thoughts about how writing is the best art form, especially on LinkedIn. Sometime within the next year, I saw he had been making image posts. Apparently, the algorithm gods stopped boosting his writing, so he had to switch to images. And again, this is another one where I see it looks like it's on the decline. My text-based posts on LinkedIn don't go nearly as far as they used to. And again, my uneducated guess is that AI has a lot to do with that. So it's just easier for AI to mass produce and mass publish writing-based posts. So you're getting the attention spans of everybody are being diluted. People are going to see a lot more AI-generated content before what they find something that is actually relevant to them that a person read, and it's just harder to get people to read your stuff. So if you're a writer, if your big thing is written word, maybe you'll have better luck on Substack than LinkedIn, but I actually think LinkedIn writing has gotten in trouble over the past year, and that's just my 2 cents on that. Okay, this is another one that I'm a little upset that our LinkedIn stream isn't working, because this is actually a trend that makes me kind of uncomfortable, which is lists of the top 50,000 women in sales. And 50,000 is a bit of an exaggeration, but I've just noticed that people are using the women on LinkedIn to farm their engagement. I saw a list going around that was like the top 500 women in sales, and I don't even know how you curate a list of 5 people. Well, I do know how you curate a list of 5 people. You have AI do it for you. And again, I think people are rightfully a little bit insulted when AI is used to generate something that they put absolutely no work into. And I think this is what you're seeing with a lot of these top lists of women in sales. So it's hard to criticize this stuff because I know a lot of women who are on those lists. They get put on there because they're easy to find. They are always doing cool stuff on LinkedIn, but I can't help but think putting them on a list with 499 other people and having AI do it all kind of cuts at them a little bit too. They don't really get the recognition that they are in because like these lists are clearly just designed for volume and to get a bunch of engagements all at once without necessarily saying anything substantial or celebrating the women who are on these lists. Which takes me to our next topic, which is random nonsense that has nothing to do with work. So this is something that I don't advise. I don't advise my clients just put random crap on LinkedIn. But if this is where, if LinkedIn is going anywhere like where Facebook is going, and sometimes it feels like that, like random nonsense that you didn't ask for is kind of the name of the game. So I don't do this. Everything that I do for my business is kind of like painstakingly tied to themes that are relevant to the clients that I'm trying to win. But random nonsense that has nothing to do with work, let's just put this in the category of a trend that I hope dies in 2025. I actually like it when you have to be tied to something real. Random nonsense about breakfast cereal or, things that have nothing to do with work. That just kind of annoys me, but, that's my personal opinion. Let's go into pronouns. So pronouns, what is the etiquette for this? So it feels like for a number of years, this was just something that we were encouraged to do. People were encouraged to share their pronouns in their email signature on LinkedIn. This was a way to be polite. This was a way to be professional. And now there has been this huge backlash to pronouns. So on the one hand, I don't want to get people offended. I don't want people to think I'm making some sort of political statement when I'm not. But on the other hand, they're just pronouns. And not everything to do with pronouns is about trans people or intersex people or, non-traditional gender roles. Sometimes it's a guy named Leslie and he puts he, him in his signature. So you know that it's a man, not a woman. There are all sorts of names that could apply to a man or a woman. And it's a courtesy when people put their pronouns out there, especially for you cold callers. So I know I probably have a lot of Republican fans. I know I am connected to people on LinkedIn who, maybe they're not all in on left-wing social causes, but I would say don't think about pronouns that way. They're really not designed to be a political statement. And if you are paid to contact people, if you are somebody who is paid to cold call or cold email, you should thank your lucky stars for pronouns because they will give you clues about the best way to talk to your prospect. So pronouns, I actually think you're going to see people steering away from these, removing them from signatures, talking less about them in the coming year. And I actually think that's kind of a shame. So that's my 2 cents on pronouns. And we're going to close it out here early. We've been going for about 40 minutes today. We've been having some problems with the stream, so I don't even know if this is appearing on LinkedIn. But this is just a final note here. I guess this is me on my soapbox because I've been seeing a lot of posts from teachers who've been working with kids who are disturbed because kids are not able to read. There was a very viral article that was going around recently about kids who graduate from Ivy League universities who don't know how to read, who have not read books. So this is just my personal feelings that's a shame. For all the advances in technology that AI will give us, for all the processes and efficiencies it will give us, it also appears to be turning us into a group of people who can't read or write or do basic tasks anymore. So if you want to differentiate yourself, if you want your kids to be able to differentiate themselves, Everybody and their grandmother is going to have tools built into their phone and their computer that have AI. We can't escape AI. AI is going to be as ubiquitous as Google has been, where AI is in everything. You're not going to be special if you know how to do AI, but actually knowing how to read, knowing how to write, knowing how to pick up the phone, knowing how to talk to other people, knowing how to engage in conversation in real spaces. These are things that I think are actually becoming rarer. And these are things that'll help you get noticed in a world where we can't always rely on the algorithm. So think about that for 2025. What kind of world do you want to live in? What kind of world do you want your children to live in? What kind of skills are important to you that you don't want to lose just due to the convenience of AI? Set some goals. I know this past year I set some goals to read more books, to get more sleep. I learned chess. I gave up alcohol. I got a daily exercise routine. It was life-changing stuff, and it was great stuff for me, but it was all stuff that required a long attention span, stuff that required me to turn off my devices, and most importantly, stuff that required me to slow down and focus. So this is my little 2 cents about the things that I saw working and what didn't work on LinkedIn. I'm going to be probably posting this again on LinkedIn later because, of course, we had some sort of snafu with the streaming. But thanks to everybody who watched me. Go ahead if you would like to hire me for coaching. I do individual one-on-one coaching. I'm going to be announcing new coaching plans soon. I can share those with you. Or I also do workshops for teams. So whether that is a workshop based on video, I teach video for sales, I teach video for content creation, and I also just do improvisational workshops. So I've been coaching improv for about 2 decades now. I specialize in getting people out of their heads, having fun, making cool stuff, making real connections. So if any of this stuff is interesting to you, go ahead, shoot me a DM. I'd love to talk about a workshop for you or your company. And you can also purchase my course, The Complete Guide to Selling on Video. So right now we are running a sale to the end of the year. It is on sale for $149. So you can check it out at chrisbogue.io. And we're going to watch an ad for that. And I will see you in the new year. Bye-bye, everybody.
Hello? Is this Mr. Sherber? It sure is. What can I help you with, brother? Hello. You were not expecting this call. Do you have 17 seconds to learn about Mercifully Short? Is this a cold call? I don't know. You. Never call this number again.
Oh no! Another unsuccessful cold call. You probably don't have time to fuck off.
I got a quota to hit.
Are you spending hours every week cold calling and cold emailing but not seeing results?
There's gotta be a better way.
Introducing the Complete Guide to Selling on Video. Whether you're new to sales or a President's Club member, this fast and fun course will teach you to efficiently create short, customized videos that get results. The Complete Guide to Selling on Video is not sold in stores. Visit chrisbogue.io and use promo code GIMMEGIMME to take $50 off while supplies last. Don't delay. Get